Hello, Apollo 10, Houston, over.
Roger, Houston, Apollo 10, you can tell the world that we have arrived.
Roger, 10, it's good to hear from you.
You wouldn't believe this thing.
We got John coming through nicely on the tube. What was the three fingers for?
The Apollo 10 moon mission was the fourth crewed mission in the Apollo program and was a NASA mission that served as what you would call a dress rehearsal for the first moon landing, essentially testing all of the components and procedures, which encompassed all aspects of an actual crewed lunar landing, with the exception of the actual landing itself. While NASA had considered attempting the first crewed lunar landing with the Apollo 10 mission, the planners ultimately decided that it would be prudent to have a practice flight to hone the procedures and techniques, and it wouldn't be until Apollo 11 that man actually first set foot on the lunar soil. However, just as with all of the earlier and later missions when the astronauts were on the moon, they took plenty of footage and photographs. And the Apollo 10 mission, although they didn't land, has offered up, ironically, some of the most compelling evidence for UFO activity and structures on the moon of any of the other missions, and that is our focus with today's video. So, to start out, I'm going to show you probably one of the most well-known pieces of UFO footage captured from the astronauts within the lunar orbiter as it drifted about 73 miles above the surface of the moon, and which, as you will see through the rest of this video, other mysterious activity occurring on the moon's surface that you have likely never seen before.
Seven, 6, 9er, 5. Noun 86 is plus 0, 1, 6, 7, 5. Plus all ball. Minus 0, 0, 5, 6, 8.
And we got him right away, Tom.
Hello, Snoop. How you doing?
Hi, Snoop on high gain. How are you reading us?
Bye-bye,
All right, reading you loud and clear. We're about 30 or 40 feet away from him. Been station keeping for about 5-10 minutes here.
Roger, could you give us poo and data? We got a load for you, and you're ready to copy some pads.
As I replay you this clip, I want you to note that as this white, unidentified object flies underneath the lunar orbiter here, the antenna begins to turn and track the UFO, doing a complete 180-degree turn as the UFO passes underneath. So many of you may have seen that clip. I've actually featured it countless times here on the channel. What you probably haven't seen is what I'm about to show you here, because I began to analyze this footage, and as some of you know, or some of you may not and are about to learn, ever since NASA was created and we began exploring things like the moon, whether it be just orbiting above it or taking photographs, they quickly developed a number of ways to cover up all manner of strange and unusual activity that occurred in their footage or photographs, and they did this specifically for the moon landing by essentially whitewashing all of the photographs and all of the film footage by increasing the brightness, lowering the contrast, so you would get almost no detail of the lunar surface, what was happening there, what was flying over, or what structures were seen down on the surface. So let's go ahead and analyze this clip where the white UFO passes by. Now, as I was analyzing this frame by frame, and especially as the mystery white UFO passes under the orbiter, I detected what I believe to be some sort of signaling system occurring via structures down on the moon's surface, but appear to be synchronized and linked or interacting with this UFO. So let's zoom in to the first anomalous thing that occurs, and that is within the edge of this massive crater down on the moon's surface to the right. And as we increased the contrast to actually be able to see the surface features, I noticed what appeared to be right on the rim, mounted within one of the peaks of the crater, is a large dark opening or entrance wherein which either a signal or a light or an object could be shot out from or beamed from. And so right as this main white UFO first enters the frame, I want you to keep your eye on this strange dark spot on the rim here. And just as the white UFO appears at the bottom of the screen to the left of the orbiter, you'll see what appears to be an even darker circular object, almost as if something has just blasted out of it as the main UFO begins to enter. Okay, so let's analyze this really quick here. One of the main reasons that I do not believe this is an artifact on the film footage itself, because as you watch this footage, and you can find it online, and you actually zoom down, you will notice that before that black flash occurs, that this original sort of dark ring that I would describe as an opening on the rim or peak of this crater is already there, and is there in every single frame as the lunar orbiter passes over the moon. You can see it, it's distinctly there. It is not something that just appears in one frame. So whatever the dark object is, it's there and it's on the crater rim. We'll go frame by frame here as we see this dark object, which is either a flash of dark light or smoke, or a possible craft of some kind, appears once again, ironically, to come almost dead center of this crater rim opening. And I also want you to notice, as I'm slowing it down here, the way this sudden dark object coming from this rim, it almost looks like something that you would see shot out of a cannon in the way it appears, and then going frame by frame begins to then dissipate, unlike a speck of dust just appearing on one single frame. This object is actually caught appearing and then fading away within 7 or 8 frames of this footage. Could this have actually been an alien craft of some sort, a separate craft from this white UFO passing by much closer? And so just as this black spot flashes from the crater edge, we then see another frame that appears to capture the same object that came from that crater at lightning speed, now showing up to the left as it blasts past.